Hi folks, here I have a couple carob pods, also known as locust bean or St. John's bread. An incredibly historical fruit with countless uses, some of them really amazing. The word carob is some old Semitic word which has undergone a very long development until it arrived at the French carob and from there the English carob. The Latin name Ceratonia, the species is called Ceratonia siliqua. Yeah, Ceratonia basically means horn, and siliqua means something like pot, bean, carob fruit. Yeah, corn because it kind of looks a little bit like a horn. It belongs to some very primitive group of the bean family. Yeah, originates from Mediterranean and semi-arid areas in the eastern Mediterranean and Near East, and can grow in a variety of semi-desert to humid subtropical mild climates. So what can you use this fruit for? Well, you can eat it. About 50% of the weight, up to 50%, can be sugar. Sometimes it's just 30%, sometimes 50%. Maybe you can recognize the shining sugar crystals, especially in the right end of the broken section. So yeah, a dry fruit which grows in semi-arid areas and stays on the tree for months without rotting and consists of up to 50% of sugar. Well, that's a valuable thing. As long as you have healthy teeth, because it's quite tough. You can eat it yourself. You can feed it to your livestock. Since it has no bitterness or other unpleasant or noxious chemicals, livestock can eat it in very huge amounts. For humans, well, the fruit is sweet, but also a little bit tart, so eating large amounts is not so pleasant. Yeah, mostly because of the tartness and because it's so hard. So, what a lot of people do is they grind it up to a powder, which can actually replace cocoa powder. When I was a child, most of the time I actually preferred it to cocoa powder. And when you mix this powder with some other ingredients, you can make a chocolate substitute. Yeah, now this is a chocolate from subtropical to Mediterranean areas. However, the fruit doesn't consist simply of the pod or legume, it also has the seeds or beans inside. What can you do with those? Well, they are hard as stone. So yeah, you might think there is not much you can do with those little seeds, right? Well, you will be wrong. Nowadays, this is actually the most important product of the tree. All this big bulk, all this big pot with up to 50% sugar content is just a byproduct. What modern farmers and producers and vendors look for is this tiny seed. It contains a lot of a congealing agent which can make liquids into jello, basically. Jello-like stuff, you can make it from gelatin, which is made from pig's ears and cow's hooves. Not very appetizing. Nowadays, not many people like this stuff. You can congel stuff with starch from potatoes or from grains, but this starch can be used for a lot of other things. A very popular thing nowadays is agar-agar. That's an algae which congels stuff very well. And then there is the carob seed. Very mighty congealing agent. It's used not just for human food, but also for dog food, cat food. When the dog food or cat food consists some like jello-like shaking, transparent, translucent sections, this was actually liquid congealed with this stuff. Also, this is a very historical fruit. I mean, it originates in the Eastern Mediterranean and Near East, where a lot of human civilization originates. And it has basically accompanied the development of human civilization since the beginning. It's called St. John's bread because St. John and also a lot of other saints and prophets are supposed to have gone into the desert for weeks or months to talk to God, to get visions, and a lot of them sustained themselves on this fruit, which hangs on the trees for months without rotting. So quite a holy fruit. Famously, St. John survived on this. Another very famous uses, well, if you can see, those seeds are very hard. And if I would break open all those pots and take out all the seeds and weight them on a really fine scale, you will see that each one weighs about 0.2 grams. So thousands of years ago, before there were standardized weights, people would use those tiny seeds, which have a very constant weight, to weight the most expensive stuff like gemstones. That's where the name carat comes from. Ceratonia is the name of the plant. Carat is the unit for weighting gemstones. So a diamond, which is 12 carats, weighs as much as 12 such seeds. Or basically, 2.4 to 2.5 grams. Later, the weight of 1 carat was standardized to 0.2 grams, but before it was, the weight of the next carob seed you could find. Well, that's quite straightforward. You take some little seeds, which almost weight pretty much the same, and you weight little valuable things with them. So 1/12 carat diamond weighs as much as 12 such seeds. That means it weighs about 2.5 grams. But what about gold? You have 22 karat gold, 23 karat gold, 20 karat gold, and the 22 karat gold piece can be teeny tiny like this. It can also be as big as this whole plate. So, well, the weighting of the gemstones is pretty straightforward. The carat in gold needs some explanation. In the Roman Empire, there was a very important and very valuable coin, the so-called solidus, which was made of solid gold, as the name suggests. At least it was supposed to be made of solid gold. Well, a solidus weighs 24 carat. That means one such Roman gold coin has exactly the weight of 24 such little seeds, or about 4.5 grams. So if you want to fake this coin, or if the government hasn't got so much money, producing a coin that weighs just as much as 20 carob seeds, well, that's kind of suspicious. Everybody will realize, or at least people who are used handling coins will realize, that this coin is lighter than it's supposed to be. So what can you do? Well, you can take the metal for this coin and basically put the weight of 22 carob seeds of gold into the alloy and the weight of 2 carob seeds in copper or silver. And then you'll get a coin which is still mostly gold, which still kind of looks like gold, but it's not pure gold. It has the weight of 22 carob seeds in gold and the weight of 2 carob seeds in less valuable metals. And people would refer to the metal of this coin as 22 karat gold. Because if you take the weight of one solidus, and if you separate the different metals from a solidus of 24 karat, you will get 22 karat of gold. Or if you want a more extreme example, if you take the weight of 12 carob seeds in gold and the weight of 12 carob seeds in copper and silver and mix them together, you will get a solidus which weighs 24 carats, but which contains only 12 carats of gold. So people would refer to this solidus as a 12 carat solidus. And if instead of a solidus you take 100 pounds of this alloy, people would still call it 12 karat gold, because they would know if you take a small piece of it weighing about 4.5 grams, out of this you can get about 2.2 something grams of gold, like about 50%. So no matter the weight of the gold, the purity is always measured against the purity of a solidus which weighs 24 carats. Yeah, so this was the incredibly historical carob fruit. I hope you understood my slightly confusing explanation of the standard of gold purity. And I hope if you have the opportunity you will try a couple of the tasty pots, or even some carob chocolate or carob cocoa powder. Well, it's not cocoa powder, carob powder. If you do, please tell me if you liked it. Yeah, I did, definitely. And now I'm gonna finish my carob pots or St. John's bread. So folks, stay tuned for more fruit videos from the markets and supermarkets of Germany. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.